It is a little chilly out here today, so I got my clothes on, but I got my house coat on over it. So maybe to help me not be so so long-winded as I get back in the house. Today, I thought we were going to talk about don'ts. The other day, one of my friends, actually my son's ex-girlfriend, she lived with us for a few years, and she still calls me mama. So she had put a meme on her Facebook about to don't list. And it had a few things on it, and I'm like, you know what? That is a really good idea. That is a really it's easier to do that than a to-do list. To-do lists are overwhelming to me, and they can be to a lot of people. If you give me a list of things to do, 9 out of 10 are not going to get done simply because they're on a list. It's like a mental thing, I guess. It's like, oh, I know I got to do those. And then I don't get around to doing it. Now, I can make lists. I can make grocery lists. I can make check-off lists for vacation or any other things I do. I got a notebook in there. Like this composition book, I got my list on here because I'll forget. And I can do some writing in a notebook. I'm writing down, all kind of stuff. But don't give me a to-do list because it's not going to get done. But I can do a to-don't list because there are things that I just don't do or I just don't want to do. I need to work on some of these myself. But these are some things that I think are helpful in maybe helping us navigate through this crazy, crazy life we're living. And they are not in any kind of order of importance or anything like that. I think they're all important. So the first one is don't feel bad about how you feel. Okay? Don't deny your emotions. You don't owe an explanation to anybody about the way you feel about anything. Okay? If something makes you sad, then feel sad and don't apologize for it. If you're happy, don't apologize for being happy because somebody else is sad. I've heard people, they're like, well, I hate, feeling good or feeling happy this when somebody else is going through whatever. Even with sicknesses, well, I shouldn't complain that I don't feel good because, look, they got it worse than me. Somebody else's life situation does not negate yours. Let me say that one more time. Somebody else's life situation does not negate yours. The fact that somebody feels worse than you does not negate the fact that you feel bad. Somebody in a bad situation does not negate the fact that maybe you're in a good situation and you're happy about it. That's okay. Don't feel bad about positive or negative feelings. Just feel what you feel and process it and move on without worrying about if somebody agrees with your feeling or not. That was one thing I used to have to tell David. He might say something or do something, and I'm like, well, that made me feel that some sort of way. Well, you shouldn't feel that way. I'm like, but you can't tell me how to feel. You may not have meant it. It may not have been the way I took it, but you can't tell me how to feel. So don't let anybody tell you how to feel. Don't deny your emotions. Okay? Don't be afraid to have opinions, but just don't treat anybody else different because of it. So don't have an opinion about how somebody looks and treat them different because they look some way you don't like. Have that opinion. Don't be afraid to have that opinion. Everybody has a right to their opinions. Can't nobody take that from you. You got a mind, and your mind can think what it wants to think. But when you take it from thinking to treating somebody differently because of it, that's when you cross the line of, let's say, bias or judgment or maybe even prejudice, you can't use your opinions as weapons, but you are allowed to have them. You're allowed to express them if that's what you want to do. In this climate we're in, I have found it's easy for me. I used to be very big on expressing my opinions on my Facebook page because I'm a very opinionated person. I have an opinion about everything. Things I like, things I don't like. I have a right to that, but I don't have a right to use those opinions to treat somebody bad because of it. I used to post whatever I felt on my Facebook page, and then it went through something, and then I'm like, you know what? It's just not worth it. It's not worth it to me to give my opinion. So that's another side of it. You can give your opinion if you want to, but then you have to decide, is it worth it for you? See, it got to be where it was not worth it for me. It was just extra energy that I did not want to spend on trying to say, this is how I feel, when nobody's going to change, and I'm not trying to change them. There's a difference in, like, trying to get somebody to understand your point of view, and maybe they might see, oh, well, I didn't think of it that way. Okay, I get it. Then pushing your opinion on somebody. And I just decided I was not willing to spend the energy to voice my opinion in that forum. But I still have my opinion, and nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take it away from you. Just don't use them as a weapon. Don't compare yourself to others. That's a big one. We tend to think, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. Not always. You might not see that whole yard because the fence might be covering part of it. You know what I mean? Let's say Sally across the street, she walks out the house every day, every morning. You see her getting in her car to go to work, and she is dressed to the nines. Her hair is perfect, not one out of place. Makeup on, nails did, the whole 9 yards. And you thinking, golly, why can't I be like her? Why can't I look put together like that? But you don't know what she just stepped out of. That might be her only form of control of her life, is how she looks. She might have walked out of a house where a husband that tells her when to sit and when to stand. You see what I'm saying? Maybe her fixing herself up and going out to her job is the only respite of herself that she has. So don't compare yourself to her, because you don't know what she lives behind that suit, okay? What if that makeup was covering a black eye? Don't compare yourself to her. On the other hand, don't compare yourself to somebody and think you're better than them. Now, we used to work, my first husband, for one summer, I did work at the mill he worked at. So I did work there. There was this little old man. I remember him. His name was Omar. If you saw him walking down the street, you'd think, he must be homeless. He was just a little old man, this old scuffed up shoes, bib overalls on every day of his life. Just looking like he has nothing. But guess what? That man was rolling in money. He was rolling in the dough. I don't even know how he made it, but he had more money than he needed, I'll tell you that. He had tons of money. He walked around with thousands of dollars in cash in his bib pockets up here. We used to worry about if somebody found out about that, they would hurt him for it. But yeah, so you can't walk out in a three-piece suit going, well, I'm better than you. Well, he's rolling in the dough. Maybe you ain't. Not that money's everything, but you get the gist. So don't compare your looks. Don't compare your house. Don't compare your situation. Don't compare anything to somebody else. Just be who you are and let them be who they are. It is fine What do they say? Variety is the spice of life. Be spicy. Don't be spicy, girls. Right now. Don't try to please everyone. Not going to happen. There is no humanly way possible to please everybody you come in contact with. Everybody that has their eyes on me right now, I am not pleasing them. Trust me, I know that. All my YouTuber friends, we know that. If you want to figure out how hard it is to please everybody, go and get you a YouTube channel. Just do it. No. We can't sit here and be what everybody wants us to be. We can only sit here and be who we are. I can't please everybody that's got their eyeballs on me right now. I can't cook everything everybody likes to eat. I can't talk the way everybody wants me to talk. Think the way everybody wants me to think. Film the way everybody wants me to film. I can't do it. And guess what? I'm not going to try. I don't know how to be anybody myself, so I'm not going to try to please everybody. I'm not going to try to please everybody in my personal life. And guess what? One of the best things I ever learned years ago was 2 letters. N-O. No. Learn to say no. If somebody needs you to do something that you don't feel like doing, you're too tired to do, you don't have the capacity to do, maybe you don't have the money to do, just say no. You don't have to be a butthole about it and hurt your feelings. You can find a tactful way to do it, or you can be just blunt, like, well, I really don't feel like doing that, at this time, or whatever. But just because you are asked does not mean the automatic answer is okay, because it's not. If you ever watched Friends, one of the early episodes, it seems like it was the one where Ross was moving and they asked Phoebe to help, and she's kind of like, well, I would, but I don't want to. So that was that. She's just upfront, she's straight about it. Yeah, I would, but I don't want to. So if you don't want to, then don't. Don't feel obligated. It does not make you a bad person to not do everything that is thrown at you. It's okay not to. So don't be a people pleaser. Don't treat your thoughts as facts. That's a good one. Don't sit around and concoct a whole story of who you are based on thoughts of fears and insecurities. I can think of my word. Insecurities that you might have, because that does not make you. What I sit here and think does not make me unless I allow it to. Don't let them take root in your life, because once they take root, they're gonna start growing. Listen. You let those negative thoughts take root, and then more negative thoughts are gonna water it, and before you know it, it's gonna sprout a tree up big as this one in my front yard. That ain't nothing nobody wants. You're allowed to have thoughts and fears. I told you up there, don't apologize for your feelings. But this one is not just feelings. This is the thoughts of inadequacy, or fear, or, oh, I can't do that. Don't let those become a fact. Don't let them become a reality. Anything, if you do want to let your thoughts become reality, then do the positive thoughts. Yes, I can do that. I am worthy. I am somebody. I am special. Let those become your facts. Okay, so those are just some of the to-don'ts that we can come up with. There are tons and tons. I encourage you to sit down and make your own to-don't list, things that you don't want to do. And it is kind of a good time to have self-reflection, to think about where we're going in life. And this can be, to don't, even in our weight loss journey, like, don't eat junk food today. I mean, it can be as simple as that. Don't go in there and eat Sebastian's cookies today. but I'm not going to eat them. So to don'ts can be all kind of stuff, whatever it needs to be for you. Sit down on whatever you think you need to work on in your life. Put it instead of a to-do list, like I'm going to try to do this, put it on a to-don't list of things to just not do. Well, I guess that's all. I hope you enjoyed our little talk. Maybe it made you think about some things. I don't know. But I guess it's time I wrapped it up because it is cold out here. It's cold. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.